Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Oladunni Owo, and it's great to be your host once again. I'm not sure I ever had it anywhere before, so I'm almost tempted to take the credit for the following quote. There is a book in everyone. I'm guessing someone out there already has a trademark on that. Anyway, the point is that every one of us has an experience, knowledge, or story that can be turned into a book. The reasons why you may not have become an author by now possibly range from lack of time or skill to write, or simply not realizing the immense benefits of becoming an author. Oladunni Owo, a published author, energy professional, and career trainer who has spent considerable time encouraging people to write, joins us on Channel's Book Club to discuss the benefits of writing and becoming an author. Enjoy our chat. Dunni, nice to have you on Channel's Book Club.
Hi, Kunle.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I like the term you have coined. I'm not sure if anybody else has used that term. I've not heard it anywhere else.
Oh, it could be on the internet.
Well, you are laying claim to the term.
Well, it came out from inside of me, actually.
Okay, so it could be somewhere as it happens. Anyway,
Yeah.
bookpreneur.
Yeah.
Bookpreneur.
Yes.
Who is a bookpreneur?
Well, a bookpreneur is somebody that makes money, a lot of money, satisfaction, and have a lot of time to play with by reading and writing. So.
Reading and writing.
Yes.
People say you can't make money reading and writing.
Well, I hear that a lot. It's happened to me personally. I remember about 12 years ago when I just joined a new organization. And I was just looking at how I can actually grow very fast in the organization. I just went reading. So I read everything I could read about the organization and about my job. And guess what? In 6 months, I got promoted. And at the end of that year, I was number 2 in the entire organization. It's a multinational company.
Wow.
I was number 2 in the appraisal. Wow. And it all happened by my reading. I just read everything I could read. So when I go to meetings, when I speak, they're like, who is she? She just joined. And it got so interesting that they had to move my supervisor because when I got promoted, my supervisor and I became parallel on the same grade level. So they had to move her to another unit and then made me the supervisor of that unit. And all happened within some very few months of joining the multinational organization.
Are you claiming that the key to rising within any organization, amongst other things, is reading?
Yeah, readers are leaders anywhere in the world. I've seen it happen so many times, and I am a testimonial of that as well. So,
okay.
Yeah. So basically, when you read, it expands you. When you just walk within what you know, you are in your box. But you know the term "think out of the box," "think out of the box" has become so popular these days. Yeah. When you read, you actually go out of your box into that other person's box, into that next person's box, into different people's box. And you can actually reach out to the global box if you so wish. And then you become a global person.
Yeah, it's one thing reading for pleasure, read a fiction book, and all that. Yeah. It's another thing reading specifically for professional development. I reckon not too many people do that.
Yeah, that's true, because when most people get into a job or get into a business, they just work with their previous knowledge, what they know. They get so busy with all the activities of the day and they don't sharpen the saw. Yeah, they just don't sharpen the saw. Like Stephen Covey said, 7 habits, sharpen the saw. A lot of people don't do that. They don't take out that time. They don't see the need for it. I remember when I told somebody I was going on a reading leave or whatever. And it was like, yeah, I was like, come on, who does that again? I don't want to be reading books. I want to read money. I want to count money. And guess what? I step anywhere in the world. And by virtue of the fact that I read. And now the other part to being a bookpreneur is the writing. I remember when I mentioned to someone, why don't you write? She just lost her job. She was an MD and all that. And I'm like, okay, so if you don't have anything doing for now, why don't you start putting together your masterpiece? She was like, oh, come on, that's when I get to like 60s, 70s and all that. So she actually believed that writing is for those that are about passing on, so you write your autobiography and all that and all that. But really, that's not it. If you think about the people that are ruling the world, they all write. either in the business world or even in the political world. Bill Clinton wrote a book. Yeah. Even Obasanjo wrote a book. Yeah. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, Stephen Covey, all these names, there's no way we would have heard about them if they didn't write a book. So when you write, it kind of moves you from being invisible to being visible. It helps your credibility. As a matter of fact, the way I normally say it, or the way my mentor says it is, it moves you from invisibility to credibility, and then to wealth.
Wow.
Yeah. And then to posterity. I added that one to it, then to posterity. Because after you've gotten the wealth and you're happy and all that, and when you're long gone, the book is still there.
Let's talk a little bit about that writing bit.
All right.
That writing bit. You've mentioned reasons why somebody should write.
Yeah.
Let's dwell a little bit more on it. You've spoken about personal branding. You've spoken about posterity. Talk to me a bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should just use myself as an example. I worked in industry for about 14 years, and at one point I just felt I wasn't just enjoying myself. Yes. I wasn't just enjoying myself any longer. I wanted to give. I had so much insight, so much experience. People come, ask, and all that. Then at one point, I met one of my mentors, and he was like, Oladunni, just put it in a book. I was like, come on, what do you mean? He said, yes, put it in a book. I said, okay, fine, let's start. And yeah, I worked in the downstream oil and gas industry, and I had actually gone through virtually everything in downstream supply chain, sales, marketing, and everything. And then the next step, which I feel Nigeria lacked, was the refinery bits. So I went into a research, adding my experience and my expertise. And then I came up with a book on refinery. And
that's this book?
Yes, that's that book.
Black Gold Refinery.
Yes, Black Gold. Now, I just didn't want it to sound like a technical book like that. I wanted it to be a bookpreneur book. I don't know if you understand. So that's why you have the subtitle that says the ultimate guide to making big money in oil and gas refinery. Because virtually all refinery companies in Nigeria, all refinery companies or downstream companies believes that when you go into refinery, you don't make money as such. You make trickles on like selling the crude and all that. But guess what? Before I even started writing, just by announcing that I was going to write a book on refinery, doors started opening for me. As in doors. My first encounter with this legend, I forgot his name now. We just met in the hotel. And he was like, what are you doing here? I said, well, I just came in here to have a time to write my book. And he was like, wow, you're writing a book. The man was so excited. He told his driver to go and brought out his limousine. We started taking pictures. That's Igbinedon, yes, the old Baba. You know, and he started telling me his life history, started telling me all sorts of things. It was as if we had known before. Then before I could say Jack Robinson, there was another person, an ambassador, then
just
another
person. Just because they learned that you were writing a book on refinery.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen so many times. It just opened doors. I've been at different countries, at the border when you're talking to the immigration, and some people spend like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, immigration trying to wind them and be sure they are there to stay or they are there to get lost in the country and all that. But when you just tell them, who are you? I'm the author of the Black Gold Refinery book. They say, wow, you're an author, come on, and they are excited. Tell me about your book.
There's something about authorship, really, which I tell people. Once you become an author, it's a totally different ballgame.
Exactly.
It does open doors.
It does open doors. It does open doors.
Okay, so you're saying that the idea of writing a book creates opportunities for people.
It creates opportunities.
And brands you as a person.
It brands you as a person. It brands your organization. If you're an employee, it brands you. You can, because of writing a book, get the next big job, get the next pay rise, get the next promotion. Because people see you as an authority. You become an authority in that field.
Once you put your name as the author of the book on any subject, so people begin to perceive you as an
expert and you're also an authority. So it opens doors for you. And as a self-employed person, if you really want your business to grow fast and people to respect you as an authority in that field, then write a book.
So apart from the idea of writing to sell X number of copies and make money. These are benefits to writing a book.
Yeah. I don't even encourage people to write because you want to sell. If you're already writing to sell like that, like, you know, you just go to bookshop ideas, so you will not make money. I can tell you up front. You will not make the kind of money we're talking about. But where is the money? The money lies in the authority it gives you. I mean, the expert view it gives you, number one. The other product you can bring out of writing that book. So, for example, I get a lot of calls calling me to come and consult for their organization. Oh, we understand you are the author of this book. Places I don't know, people I don't know. There was a time I actually got a call from United Arab Emirates from a lady I don't know from anywhere. In fact, it was an email. I thought it was a 419. And she was like offering me a job from one big organization. I said, no, this must be a scam. So we now spoke, and she was practically begging me to take a seven-digit number job in dollars.
Because they saw your book.
Because she saw my. So I was like, so where did you get my CV from? Where did I was asking her? She said, aren't you the author of? I said, yes, I am the author of. Well, it opens doors, you know. And even as a business person, if you're a business owner, it helps you as well. You're in real estate, write a book on real estate. People will buy it and respect you, and it will kind of help you. It will be a lever for you, you know, to that wealth and to that prosperity.
Yeah, I think this is a very important perspective, because there are so many people out there who are experts in their fields, but they just don't write. You know, I meet so many people like that daily. And I said, why don't you put this thing down? You know, put it in a book. Long after you are gone, that book is there, and you know your name is on that book. And you're able to share your knowledge, your experiences with other people, and inspire people. You know, and
I guess the challenge is they don't know how to go about it. Well, you have to seek for knowledge. I sought for knowledge. I have my book writing mentor, and I also have a book writing architect that saw me through the entire process. And I have also helped others to achieve same. You know, at least I have about 3 people I'm currently coaching on book writing that are trying to also put their own masterpiece together to affect their world, you know. So I think what people need to do is to seek knowledge. You just don't pick the pen and start writing. Come on, it's not going to happen. You're not going to see all the dollars. You need to, I call it PWP. The first piece says you have to plan it. And what do you do in planning it? You have to be able to establish the objective with which you're writing. The W is you write it. How do you write it? Of course, there are systems, there are programs to writing it. And the last one is publish it. And publishing has been made so easy. Thank God for Amazon.
PWP.
Yes.
We could go on and on. Your message is just get out there and write your own book.
And write your own book.
There's a book in everyone, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. There's so much book in there.
Thank you, Dunni.
Thank you
for joining us on Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.